When you're looking for protection in Arkham City, you look for Batman, but you can also lean on Robin as well, and with these two, you can trust that your city will be safe. But be aware, there might be a little damage. If you're lost to who I'm referring to, well, it's the highly talented duo of Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. With Luka battling with injuries during this playoff run, it's been hard for him to get things going consistently, so Kyrie Irving has been the leader on this team in terms of keeping things connected and in a flow state. Now, is this me saying Kyrie is doing all the work himself? Certainly not. Because when you do have a guy like Luka, he's still going to make his mark regardless of being injured, and with a strong supporting cast, when everyone is bought in, this Mavericks team can look pretty special. With the Thunder having a focal point to not let Doncic get any easy looks at the rim, when he comes off the screen, he's going to get the attraction of two defenders, so with Isaiah Joe now rotating over into the paint to be ready for the pass to Gafford, him and Shai both aren't aware that there's a lob threat cutting right behind them to the basket, so now Luka can no-look this lob up to Derrick Jones Jr. for the alley-oop connection. I know teams don't want to let Luka get going on the offensive end, so they're going to send multiple guys at him, but Doncic never forgets where his guys are located on the floor, so once you leave your man open to go double, well now you're going to pay up. This high level of attention sent at Luka doesn't just stop with him, because with another electrifying scorer in Kyrie Irving, he knows that the defense is going to rush him off these screens as well, so with the quick pass over the top of the double that leads Derrick into a drive, he can now catch while in stride to the rim, and instead of going in crashing with Chet, he stops right in the middle of the paint to drop this short little floater. These doubles far away from the basket put the defense in a very vulnerable state, because now with Green catching with a wide open pass to the basket, this now forces either Chet or Shai to rotate over, which will now open up a three in the corner or a lob on the backside to Lively. So with all of this at stake, Isaiah Joe is going to hustle back hard to try and back tap the ball, but ends up picking up a foul instead. Every team needs guys who can attract this much attention on the floor, because not only is it that two defenders end up locked in on Kyrie Irving, but they don't want to give off an easy one inside off the pick and roll, so it's going to force someone to tag the roller, and when you have a confident shooter like PJ Washington setting up shop, well best believe the three ball's going to drop. Kyrie's ability to score the ball from all three levels is elite, so anytime it looks like he's on pursuit to go score, the defense will sink in on him to take away any angle to get a shot up, so with Josh getting too far in the paint, Josh Green is locked and loaded, and now it's 3 more points on the board. When you watch these games, literally anytime Kyrie wants to get into the paint he can, which causes many problems for the defense, because not only does he have one of the best relief options to throw it back to in Luka Doncic wide open, but he now has the option to zip it to Tim Hardaway Jr. in the corner as well. But with the point from Hardaway to PJ Washington in the slot area, Kyrie sends it there, which makes Giddey close out hard, allowing for a secondary pass to the corner, and now it's easy money. Most people will look at Kyrie and Luka as mainly scorers, which they are. But this doesn't mean you should just sleep on their ability to get the team involved. When working off this high pick and roll, Derrick Jones Jr. is coming up to set a screen on Chet, so Gafford can have an advantage rolling to the rim. With Luka understanding timing, he slows down for a split second, allowing Gafford to get deeper in stride. So with Chet now doing the stop, drop, and roll, Gafford is now soaring in the air for the slam. If you've been paying attention to this series, you'll notice that the Thunder are gunning at Luka and Kyrie, just making other guys beat them instead, and the Mavs are taking full advantage of this, just playing in sync with one another. When Dallas decides to double up on these screens, this immediately puts OKC in rotation mode since they don't want Luka to get an open shot, so Chet has no choice but to step over since that switch happened up top and now J-Dub is chasing over the screen. If you direct your attention to the paint, we now see Isaiah Joe in there, so he's ready for a pass to Gafford off the roll, so now Derrick Jones Jr. is wide open in the corner, and we all know how this ends. These actions just allow Luka to get deeper into the paint with less resistance, and with it always opening up a man in the opposite corner, Dallas can abuse these setups, but sometimes luck won't go their way and guys will just miss it. Other times, it'll be wide open again, but with too much heat on the pass, Josh Green can't control the ball, and Luka will admit his fault on this pass. This gravity Luka possesses opens up many looks for his team, as he'll have Shai helping deep in the paint since his threat off the pick and roll is a lethal option, so when he no-looks it out to a hot shooter in PJ Washington, this makes J-Dub and Shai both run out to him, just leaving Kyrie open for the quick swing pass, so now with J-Dub having to close out on Irving, Kyrie can attack the rim aggressively and glide right in for the layup. With the Mavs requiring another solid spot-up shooter in PJ Washington, he's came up big in these playoffs, knocking down shots when needed. He set the tone and energy with his enforcing attitude, and with him being able to put the ball in a basket from multiple areas on the floor, you can initiate actions for him to work off ball to go put points on the board. Like I said, his game is very flexible, so you can throw it down to him when he posts up, and since Aaron Wiggins gambles on the steal, it's a straight line route to the basket for Washington, so with a smaller Shai contesting him inside, he's able to go right up over the top of him and drop this in with the left hand. With PJ being able to attack the rim with that aggression, when he bullies his way inside, it'll collapse the defense at times, opening up cutting angles for his teammates, so when Gafford catches it, he's able to stay patient as Chet gets on that trampoline ready to block it, go around his body, and it's an easy 2 points in close. This unselfish nature the Mavs play with is key to them winning games, because with them being able to space the floor out with shooters, it leaves the middle of the court wide open, so when Luka hits Kyrie immediately off this pick and roll, he can receive the ball right back when he runs down the middle. This forces Chet to get in position for the block, and ladies and gentlemen, we already know what happens next.
And go, extra feed! Highlight.
Although this is great, it's not purely just the connectivity this team has, but it's their will to fight for those 50-50 balls, and when you pair that with the size, that's where you see Lively be able to snag the board right over the top of the defense, and with no problem, he can go right up for the second chance points. With Shai being able to get out to PJ Washington on his 3-point attempt, he's able to get a hand on the ball causing a terrible miss, but the difference between Shai standing by the bench and PJ following his shot is a putback slam to gain even more momentum.
Partially blocked, ricochets back and he slams it.
As I stated, size can be an issue, but it's also just the desire to want it more, because when a 6'3" Kyrie Irving is able to track the ball and back tap it out to Luka Doncic, you've now put yourself in a terrible position, as Luka can pull up with confidence, putting 3 more points on the board. When you let Luka get in that groove and see shots fall, well, that's when you see these tough step backs be sunk over the defense. You get these one-handed floats from the free throw line, which could have been an and one. And with supreme confidence, he'll get into a shot once he feels the contact, and with another one-handed shot, he'll drain this deep 2, which is just ridiculous.
Tosses it up and in! He got some contact from Williams, no call.
But it's not just Doncic who can make these tough baskets, because when you see Irving attack the rim, low carry past the defense, and then toss this up with the left hand while drifting left to kiss this off the glass, this is truly absurd.
He does. Left hand!
Now, when speaking of great finishing, you have to bring up Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, as we all know his driving and mid-range shooting is his bread and butter. So with Dallas scheming to keep him from getting good looks from inside the arc, they're loading up on Shai whichever way he decides to attack, and by the time he gets to the paint or somewhat close to the rim, he's hounded by multiple defenders. Key example, when Shai is pushing up the court here, Gafford is going to crowd him from behind directly into Josh Green, so when Shai attacks towards the left, Hardy's going to dig in, which forces Shai to spin back towards the middle. But the thing is, Gafford is right there still trailing the play, so with Green and Gafford both contesting him, this bucket inside is way too difficult. When they want to stop him from getting a good look in the mid-range, they'll first load up to stop him from pursuing the rack, so then Shai will attack back the other way to initiate the spin move, but with Gafford aware of everything that's going on, he's rotating over to block this shot, which forces Shai to fade back and leave this jumper short. Now, am I saying that they're just going to take Shai's game away completely? Nah, not at all, because we've seen him go off.
Takes it to the rim and lays it in with a left hand.
But the Mavs certainly have ways they can limit him and make other guys go score the ball. And then on the offensive end, with many weapons and chemistry, if the Mavs just stay connected and work in a flow, then they should be able to close out this series. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you're first to know when I upload. I thank you all for your support, and I'll see you in the next video.